Howdy folks, Nathan Adlin here, and boy do I have something special for you. Notice how those two trucks are very different behind me? That's right, we're going to do an Ike Gauntlet with them, but it's not just a regular Ike Gauntlet. As a matter of fact, I brought a special driver just to help us out, getting us up the hill. What is this? Is this a Super Ike Gauntlet?
It is a Super Ike Gauntlet, but I'm confused. Why do we have a brand new Raptor and a brand new Durango SRT behind us? What's up?
They're really fun to drive.
Yeah, but can they tow?
Well, I guess that's the question.
Yes.
That's coming up next. All right, now both these vehicles cost about 70 grand. We know they don't compete, but they do haul your family. They are a hoot to drive. But here's the question, how do they tow? Now this is a big, badass, mean engine. I love this thing. Tell them what it is.
Well, it's completely different philosophy from what Ford has under the hood. Big, beefy 6.4 liter Hemi, 475 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. Made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Of course, this is an all-wheel drive, badass street performance machine. Both the Raptor and the Durango are towing the exact same trailer, exact same weight. It's 7,000 pounds, and we dumped all the water out and we balanced the load, so we have about 10% tongue weight. And I also removed some of the other ballast, so we're dialed in at 7,000 and we're ready to go.
Wondering what a Super Ike Gauntlet is? Well, it is the heaviest load we can tow with these vehicles up this hill.
Dude, because this is a Super Ike Gauntlet, where we're basically coming close to the gross combined weight on these trucks and SUVs,
right?
I can actually shift manual on the way down.
Yeah, it jumped up to pretty high, nearly 6,000 RPM before it calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, now it's around 5,000 RPM in third gear, and it's actually holding the speed.
We had to do a few things, but truly, they have a tow mode for this vehicle, and it seems to be working quite well. Now, just like a good old truck, the Ford Raptor came with a brake controller. Unfortunately, the Durango did not, so we had to use an aftermarket unit. Now, so far, we've only used the brakes a few times, right?
So I had to use them about 4 times, halfway down the mountain before I actually downshifted manually.
Right.
And now, the engine is screaming a little bit, about 4,700 RPM now.
That's not so much.
But it's holding my speed, and now I'm really comfortable. I had to use my funky, silly looking extra mirrors.
Hey, that's okay.
Well, the reason why we're using these, first of all, the trailer is so much wider than the SUV itself.
Right.
8 feet wide.
Struck by the fact that there's been no porpoising, no wiggling that feels out of character. This thing's been towing really, really well. Yeah, we did have a little bit of squat. That was to be expected.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, it's not having a problem at all towing. It's pretty impressive.
That's it, we're done. Let's go up the mountain. This quick trailering tip is brought to you guys from our friends from CM Trailers and also Gen Y Hitches. This is a heavy-duty hitch we always use on our towing tests. It has a weight distributing attachment, which we always use. But here's the tip. We use the adjustable hitch to make sure that the truck and trailer are always level. Dodge Durango about to take on, well, SRT is about to take on Ike Gauntlet. Ready? 30 miles an hour and go. Whoa, that sounds good. That's a great sound. Oh, I like that. Really? Are we towing or are we racing on the track? Are we up to 60 yet? 60, boom. That was quick. Wow. Nice. Now I'm gonna have to try to maintain that speed. Yeah, but I haven't really seen a proper towing video done with the SRT Durango. No, you know, I think we're the only ones to do it. And also, we've never towed with the Durango before. In terms of wind noise and road noise, not hearing a ton of it. It's really all engine right now. Yeah. It's working hard. I mean, we use this test because it's a tough test. 8 miles, 7% grade. We're going to over 11,000 feet of elevation. So all those things combined to make it a very tough test. Very tough test. Be interesting to see how the Ford Raptor does on the same hill, considering that it has a twin turbocharged engine. Yeah. Turbocharging helps a lot up here. How are we doing on time? Are we... I think I've been keeping 60 all the way.
let's see. Roughly at this point, we are slightly ahead of the curve.
Okay.
Now, our top time usually is just a hair under 8 minutes. What that means is that you immediately were able to get to 60 and maintain it all the way up the hill. We don't go up any higher than 60.
No, that's the speed limit.
Right. So we maintain the speed limit, and the real test at the very beginning is how quickly can you get to 60, and then whether or not you can maintain 60. Well, that's
what is he doing?
It's not this guy's. No, this guy. It's not his fault. The guy cut him off in front of him.
Transmission temp 204.
I stopped it a little early because of the guy cutting in front of us.
Yes.
It would be about 8 minutes dead.
4.7 mpg.
Wow.
And Nathan, can you show the center dash and the transmission temp?
Okay, there's trans temp.
204.
And intake air temp. All right. Here's the other temps. Oil temp and oil pressure.
Coolant 239, which is a little high for the coolant.
It is a little high. 200 is usually close to a standard.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Before we watch the Raptor go up the mountain, I just want to thank all of our Patreon supporters for making this video possible and for this brand new TFL editing computer. If you guys want to help us produce more videos and become a supporter of the Fast Lane truck, please click on the link below and become a TFL Patreon supporter.
So what's going on with this paint job?
It's this color in order to hide all the dirt we got on this poor thing.
Well, this is an appropriate paint job for the Raptor, and under the hood is a high output 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo, and a lot of us know this engine pretty well already.
Yeah.
450 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. And it's made it to
a 10-speed automatic transmission, and that's connected to one of the more sophisticated four-wheel drive systems out there.
I don't think we're gonna have a problem with power, but downhill performance, I'm really curious about that.
Ooh, let's find that out.
Okay, so I touched the brake at the top of the mountain once,
right.
Brought it back down to 50, and then the truck by itself shifted to third, and here I am at 5,000 RPM, and it's basically holding 60 miles an hour. And I did it without manually shifting, by the way.
Not a lot of drama, and not a lot of noise, just...
No.
It's kind of humming around 5,000 RPM right now.
Yeah. It's accelerating just a tad. In drive mode, downhill performance is a little bit better than in Durango.
We are in tow haul mode and all that too, right?
Yep. The mirrors are not towing mirrors, but again, there's still C around the trailer.
Nice mid-size, in-between size.
And the Raptor is so wide, there's no problem seeing around the trailer.
It does help to have that extra girth. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why these two vehicles? In what possible way do they match up? Well, there is one thing. First of all, they really do represent two extremes. One, that one, that's extreme on the track. It really is a track and fun vehicle to shoot through the canyons with, whereas in the Raptor, well, that's built for serious off-roading.
They're both fun vehicles. They're also both about the same price, 71 grand for that Durango and about 67 for the Raptor, and they can be configured about the same price.
That's right. And let's not forget, they both sound really cool, and frankly, they make me feel a little bit more manly. Ready, and go.
Oh yeah. That was 60 already. The sound was not quite as deep as a 6.4 liter Hemi.
No.
But
it is augmented.
It's augmented, so it does sound fairly sporty. So right now I'm in 7th gear, if you believe it or not.
Cruising along at
I'm in
60.
tow haul mode. Turbocharging and supercharging does help.
A lot.
At this altitude.
But you still lose a little tiny bit. Fuel tank on this truck is 36 gallons. That's a lot.
Ooh, what was the tank on the Durango?
The Durango, 24.6 gallons. A lot less. You will be seeing fuel pumps more often.
And it's handling this uphill run in a very similar fashion to the SRT Durango. There's plenty of power. I can accelerate at any moment. I'm trying to keep 60 miles an hour.
established a few things right off the bat. One, this vehicle can tow quite well. I'm actually kind of stunned as to how smooth it is right now.
I think it's a testament to the suspension system.
Yeah, that Fox setup is really good.
Fox shocks, and I'm changing lanes right now and then downshifted into fourth very nicely. And no problem whatsoever maintaining speed, accelerating. He's doing it really well.
Here.
And we're at the very top of the world.
Oh, now.
3.8.
3.8 miles per gallon?
Yes.
7 minutes, 59 seconds. So
that's a dead heat, basically.
That is basically exactly this. Yeah, I mean,
it's within my human error. Interesting part, 3.8 mpg here.
Yeah.
4.7 in the Durango. So, which one did better today?
I don't know.
Yes, this was a surprise to me.
Yeah.
First of all, I expected the Durango to squat to the ground and to be squirrely all over the road. That did not happen. It was solid as a rock, not a lot of squat, about 1 inch.
Right.
And it performed well, but downhill performance was not great.
It wasn't great, but it did better than we expected.
On the other hand, the Raptor did really well on the downhill.
Yeah.
And both of them did really well on the uphill. 4.7 mpg in the Durango, 3.8 in the Raptor. What's the deal here?
We don't understand what type of unusual murky science this is.
It has to probably do with the curb weight and those giant tires on the Raptor.
Possibly, possibly. Well, hey guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this fun little, just fun little comparison on the Ike Gauntlet.
Go back to tfltruck.com for more news, views, and real-world reviews. And we're starting 2018 Gold Hitch season.
That's right, so stay tuned for that.